There's a movie I own that I've been wanting to talk about for a very long time. Wildfire. It's about wildfires. But every time I plan to make the video, I go to the news and I see that wildfires are spreading across the country. So to not be insensitive, I scrap the video and I move on to something else. But not this time. I don't care anymore.
The flames are getting closer. Now it will take a miracle to save them.
Wildfire. Not to be confused with Wildfire, or, any of these. No, this is a straight-to-DVD movie from the 2000s called Wildfire, directed by Henry Char and produced by his production company, Cinemotion 21st Entertainment. Henry Char has a pretty long director's credit list, many of which being some schlocky type stuff like Cell Block Sisters, Banished Behind Bars,
Rock and roll!
and the family-friendly Paws to the Rescue. I don't actually know what year Wildfire came out. IMDb says 2005, Google says 2006, this Roman numeral says 2003, and the production company's website says 2002. What I can do though is read the back of the box so you know exactly what Wildfire is about. A wildfire growing out of control threatens a sanctuary for exotic animals run by two sisters, Carol and Ballad. Ballad enlists her boyfriend, Kennedy, and his team of firefighters and smoke jumpers to create a brake line ahead of the fire, hoping to save their animals from a growing inferno. They make a startling discovery. The fire was started by corporate thugs who want their land. Tension mounts as Ballad and Kennedy rush to stop the ruthless developers, prove their guilt, and save the animals from wildfire. So Wildfire has smoke jumpers, evil corporate thugs, and a wildlife preserve. It sounds like a winner to me. And according to the production company's website, Wildfire received great reviews. Even the New York Times called it an edge-of-your-seat adventure. But I can't find any corroborating evidence of that quote on the internet. So, they made that up. Enough yakking. Let's turn on Wildfire and see if this movie lives up to the hype. Right off the bat, we get thrown right into the inferno. A massive forest fire is blazing. Firefighters are hustling to and fro trying to put a stop to all the burning. All of this I'm pretty sure is stock footage. It all has a very 6 o'clock news kind of feel to it. The fiery stock video eventually gives way to an idyllic, llama-rich animal sanctuary called Wildland, complete with a tiger, a monkey, even an elephant.
All right. Here we go. One at a time.
Here we meet one of Wildland's caretakers, Ballad. She owns the place along with her sister, Carol. And Wildland is currently in the crosshairs of two very greedy real estate developers, Jack and Cy.
We cannot proceed with the Dreamtown development until you sell. Now what will it take?
Nothing. Wildland is not just an animal rescue, it's a labor of love.
This, of course, is a huge bummer for the two real estate developers who want nothing more than to get Carol and Ballad to sell Wildland.
Phew.
We can convince her.
She'll never give in.
Just a matter of time, pressure, and persuasion.
So anyway, back to the fire we saw raging in the opening credits. A group of firefighters and smoke jumpers are getting briefed on the sitch.
Johnson, your team is going to rappel by helicopter to these coordinates here. Kennedy, you and your team of smoke jumpers are going to drop ahead of the fire to set up a backfire here.
And it's here we meet our scrappy little hero and the leader of the smoke jumpers, Kennedy.
See you downstairs.
He and his crew of smoke jumpers jump out of a plane right into some more stock footage, surveying the damage and forming a plan. Here's some unedited footage of Kennedy being calm under fire.
The wind is picking up. Way out of control. Doesn't look good, Cap.
This fire is way too big. We're gonna stop it here.
Hell yeah, we might.
Hell yeah, we might.
Might never entered my way of thinking.
Kennedy is what you'd call a born leader. That's kind of all he does though, is stand around and tell others what to do.
Hey! Time to go! Let's get out of here now, guys! Move it!
This entire firefighting scene is him just barking orders while looking off screen at the flames. My favorite shots are the ones where the firefighters run across the screen. The audio is also really rough in this movie. I think they spent too much of its post-production budget on dubbing in a ton of the actors' lines.
It's holding. The brake is holding.
Yes.
Mother Nature was with us tonight.
I knew it would hold.
Like, what is that? It's like an AI wrote the dialogue.
Beer time.
Nah, this fire's not gonna take a beer break. Neither are we.
Anyway, with the fire fully extinguished, Kennedy reflects on the fragility of nature.
I mean, all the years it takes for nature and man to build this up, and poof, just like that, a spark or an ember, it's gone. Today we beat the monster, and we won.
Now?
Now it's beer time.
You got fleas, man. Meanwhile, over at Wildland, the evil developer has sent one of his goons to stir up some trouble. Wait, is the camera tracking backward? Is he walking backward with the binoculars?
Hi, Kennedy.
Hey, Carol.
Kennedy pulls up because he's Ballad's boyfriend, even though you might think that he and Carol are a better match.
To hurt you.
These two are so flirtatious. Kennedy even set up Carol on a bad blind date.
Don't ever do that to me again. Not funny.
Sabotaging somebody's blind date? That's what you do when you have a crush on somebody.
I'm not looking. And when I start to, I think I can manage to attract a guy or two.
Oh, he knows. He has way more chemistry with her than he does with his actual girlfriend, Ballad.
Well, I think that was a good plan, because otherwise you'd have to deal with me, mister.
Yes.
Let's go.
All right. So the real estate developer's henchman lets the tiger loose, and all Kennedy can do is be the underreactor of the year.
I didn't even open the cages.
No, it's cool, it's all right. It's all right, we'll find him. We'll find him before anybody knows about it.
There's a man-eating tiger on the loose, Kennedy, and all you can do is stand there and repeat.
It's all right.
After a while of chasing, they spot the tiger and get him to eat some tranquilized meat.
Here you go, boy.
Also, is Kennedy getting smaller or is his shirt getting bigger? That is an XXL shirt if I ever saw one. The sleeve is almost touching his wrist. Kennedy is quite an entertaining goon. His movements and facial expressions are that of a small child's. Look at how he waves at Ballad during one of his training exercises.
Be careful!
Oh my God, what a goon.
Battalion 7, brush rigs type 3, fully engaged forest fire.
So some alarms sound, and that means that there's another wildfire raging. So Kennedy and his team of smoke jumpers parachute in and do more of the same as last time. But it is fun watching the actors act their heart out.
This fire's sneaky, it's everywhere, man. We're running out of time here. The brake line's not gonna hold.
We're almost done here, Chief.
I'd say you have about 30 minutes or Glendora's toast.
Yeah, I know.
You should also know you're our only hope.
Meanwhile, over at Wildland, two of the evil developer's lackeys pay Carol a visit, posing as members of the Forestry Service, telling her she and her animals gotta evacuate due to the fire. But she ain't buying it.
I tranquilize animals so I can take the head off a nail from 100 yards.
The goons kidnap and tie up Carol and then let all the animals out. And when Ballad returns to Wildland, she has no idea what to make of the empty cages or the fact that Carol's not there.
Wildland, this is Ballad.
Hey, Ballad. This is Drake.
Drake.
Drake? Who's Drake? Why are we being introduced to characters so far into the movie?
I just have a really bad feeling about this.
One thing at a time. Let's get Cleo first.
Do you recognize that voice? If it sounds identical to this character's voice,
Said the spider to the fly.
it's because it is. The ADR in this movie was recorded by Stephen Bloom, who turns out to be a very prominent voiceover artist for all sorts of stuff.
In fact, I somehow ended up in the Guinness Book of World Records for most prolific voice actor in video games.
And Wildfire, where he voices Drake.
The smoke jumpers have been cut off.
No!
Psy,
So, you brought in the goons.
and various extras.
Blaze must be up to 2,000 acres by now.
Anyway, Drake and Ballad chase down the mountain lion.
Drake, stay back. Cleo gets skittish when she's scared. Cleo, honey, it's me, baby. I see you in there. Come on out of there, sweetie.
Oh, they didn't even try to crop out the handler. They even kept in, or possibly even added the sound effect of the leash being taken off.
Sweetie.
Whatever. What's important is Cleo is safe. Meanwhile, Kennedy and his team are putting themselves right in the middle of harm's way, trying to stop the fire from spreading, which makes one of his team members very nervous.
We may all fry. Well, then you won't have to pay your phone bill next month. Go to work.
I've literally never held a chainsaw before in my life, but that looks like a really dumb way to hold a chainsaw. So we eventually learn that the evil real estate developer Jack started the fire along with his 2 goons, which his business partner Cy finds despicable.
You started the fire?
Well, at least I was compassionate enough to release the animals.
You released them just to break the girl's spirit in case the fire didn't reach her ranch.
It's a real shame they had to dub over all of Cy's actors' lines.
Said the spider to the fly.
He's played by Sherwin Ace Ross, who I saw in another one of director Henry Char's movies, My Uncle the Alien, and he seems like a pretty competent actor. I can't imagine his voice sounded worse than this.
I don't believe it.
Anyway, Kennedy and his team eventually stop the fire from spreading, while Ballad gets herself captured by the evil land developers. But lucky for her, Kennedy arrives to save the day, wearing his best back-to-school fashion. Even though Kennedy was able to subdue one of the goons, he forgot that he is himself a goon, and is swiftly taken out. Everybody starts arguing. Kennedy and Ballad break free and go to rescue Carol at Wildland before the smoke overtakes her.
Carol, come on, you have to breathe.
Wouldn't this have been a slightly more interesting scene if Carol and Kennedy were the couple? Something about Kennedy and Ballad being together makes me sick. Look at that. Ew. Look at how he has his head on her shoulder.
Maybe I was wrong about you and Wildland.
He's not taking it off. And look, the camera doesn't even give a shit about Kennedy. He's blocked for virtually all of this touching moment between Carol and Ballad.
Man, I love both of you guys.
Anyway, that's how Wildfire ends. Hey, wait a minute, remember how all the animals were released? I think that line is still out there. Another plot point not tied up was how Kennedy wanted to marry Ballad, but Ballad was too afraid to say yes. So that went nowhere. The movie needed one more scene at the very end after the 3 regroup and save Carol. It should have dissolved to Jack and his goons getting put into cop cars while Ballad tells Kennedy she's finally ready to tie the knot. Look at me, shipping all the characters in Wildfire. I gotta say though, this is a great movie, and if you ever get a chance to watch it, I highly recommend it. What do you think? Should they subscribe? Oh, you're nodding. I agree. If you like this video, please click subscribe. It really helped me out. All right, say bye. I don't know.